But we'll start with KTVU's Jenna Katsuyama, who is live in the Oakland Hills. Jenna, right alongside that fire line.
We are on Mountain right parallel to 580, and we've moved over to the other side where right now you can see that they are doing a water drop over the Oakland Hills here. We're at Maynard and Mountain where they've set up a bit of a command center, and joining us over here we have both the mayor Sheng Thao as well as the battalion chief Covington. Thank you both for joining us. Let's start with the chief first, if you will. Tell us what the situation is right now in terms of where the most area of concern is.
Yeah, right now we had the fire came at about 1:30 this afternoon. By the time we got on scene, it had jumped from the front of a house across to a grove of eucalyptus behind the house. We immediately called for a second, third, and fourth alarm. We have resources from around the Bay Area on scene, including CAL FIRE air resources. Right now, we stopped the forward progress of the fire, so we're in pretty good shape. We still do have a lot of work to do to make sure those eucalyptus aren't going to rekindle. We still have air resources on scene who are doing drops to make sure that the tough areas and tough terrain to get to, they're able to get drops in there and get put the fire under control. We anticipate within the next hour or so being able to call the fire under control.
Okay. And are there any structures still threatened at this time?
No structures are threatened at this time. We had less than 10 structures that have been damaged due to the fire. If it wasn't for the quick response of all of our surrounding jurisdictions and our firefighters from Oakland, they did a fantastic job of getting in front of the fire and making sure it didn't reach any structures.
And any injuries, any either civilians or firefighters?
We've had no report of injuries. We have evacuated over 500 Oakland residents as a precaution. Fortunately, we didn't need to have any structure protection on those areas. We were able to get in front of the fire before we needed it.
And do you anticipate those people being able to return to their homes tonight?
We'll see. It depends on the neighborhood. It's multiple neighborhoods, so we'll have to go do a survey of the area to make sure it's safe to re-enter.
And which neighborhoods would you say?
Campus Drive, Crystal Ridge, Altura, multiple neighborhoods. This was a wind-driven fire, so it moved in multiple directions at once, which made it even more challenging for us.
And we're seeing a helicopter right now over your shoulder, dropping some of that water down. How critical was it to have CAL FIRE on this red flag advance alert this weekend?
Yeah, we put a lot of work into making sure we pre-positioned apparatus. We have shared resources throughout the county that we pre-positioned for this type of event. Without CAL FIRE resources, our report would be very different.
So we're going to stand by. You said probably within an hour you might be able to have it contained, but as to whether people can go back into those areas, still unclear, and I imagine you want them to abide by those evacuation orders.
Yeah, we need them to just hang tight. We are going to get into those houses and make sure that they're structurally safe to re-enter as soon as we can.
Chief, thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy. We'll let you get back to your work and check back in with you shortly. Meantime, we're going to bring in Oakland's Mayor Sheng Thao, who got here on the scene and got a briefing. From a city resource perspective, what can you tell us in terms of what's being done?
You know, right now, I just want to say thank you so much to the Oakland firefighter and all the other firefighters who came from other jurisdictions. We have about 120 firefighters out here today. I mean, this could have been catastrophic. This is a strong reminder for our constituent. Please sign up for AC Alert. Please have a plan. When it comes to the red flag fire hazard dates, we have to always have a plan A and a plan B. And this is real serious, you know, and this is ongoing hazard throughout the year. We're seeing that the wildfire time frame within a year is actually longer now. You know, we're at the end of October, and you're seeing that there's a fire. And so this is a stark reminder that wildfires are real in the city of Oakland. Please have defensible space if you're in any areas of high wildfire risks. And not just that, but this is also why I fought so hard to make sure we did not brown out any fire station.
And one of the things I'm wanting to ask you is, with 500 evacuations of 500 different structures, is the city partnering at all with the Red Cross, or what are the plans for people who might not be able to get to their homes right now?
Yes, so FEMA and Red Cross are all activated, and so we're going to make sure that people are not only safe, but they have the resources that they need to be indoors and in shelter as we're trying to actually diffuse all of the fire. Again,
where should people go?
Well, you know, I could give them a website that we'll give it to you, and so that they can call and they can actually go on the website, get more resources, and so we'll get that out to you so you can give it to the public. But again, I can't encourage people enough, sign up for AC Alert, because that alert came up and it stated where the fire is. Also, make sure that you have a plan to escape if there is a wildfire.
Okay. Mayor Sheng, Thao, thank you so much for taking your time. And again, we are here at the command center where they are actively trying to make sure that they keep this fire under control. You heard the chief say earlier that they anticipate they might be able to have this under control within the next hour. He said that they have stopped the forward progression of this fire, and that they are so far had no injuries, either firefighters or civilians. So that is good news right now.
Yeah, all of that is just tremendous news and really fantastic to hear, because obviously the situation was quite concerning here over the last few hours with red flag conditions and the winds the way they were. There was a lot of concern for a lot of homes. So it's good to hear they got a handle on it. Janet, can I ask you, though, just sort of moving forward, because we've talked about it here, they want to make sure that this fire does not flare back up, because in terms of the red flag conditions, we're not out of the woods.
Absolutely. And the thing about these conditions, Alex, you know, as we've been saying, is that it doesn't take much. It can take just one spark. It can take one lawnmower. It can take one chainsaw, one chain dragging on the ground that can spark the fires. As of yet, at least here on the ground, we have not heard anything about what the cause of this fire might have been. But as you heard the chief said, this is a wind-driven fire. And so this is something where everybody, whether you're here in the East Oakland Hills, whether you are in the North Bay, the city, the South Bay, everybody needs to be particularly cautious, because it doesn't take much for something to flare up. So, you know, again, as you said, they're going to be watching this through the night, but it's not just here. Everybody throughout the Bay Area really needs to be extra careful.
All right, Janet Katsuyama live for us. They're on the scene of the fire line alongside the Oakland Hills. Again, there were 500 homes evacuated and 13 acres this fire reached. So a lot of homes there. But
yeah, they've made some good work, made some good progress on that fire.